Welcome to Drinkin Bros, presented by GhostBed.com. Yeah! Welcome to Fake News, brought to you by ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin Bros. Protect your digital butthole out there. People are trying to steal your online IDs. Go to ExpressVPN.com/Drinkin Bros today. Welcome, kids. We've got a huge show. This is one of our last shows inside D'Anthony's condo in downtown Austin. It's beautiful, and we've enjoyed it, and we've appreciated the hospitality, D'Anthony.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with it. I don't even like people knowing where I live, much less showing up there. So this has been a real problem for me.
I think Matt Best is coming over today, too. We've got like 90 people in Dan's place. You're all done with it.
Yep.
You're all done with it. We should be in the new offices next week. They're currently building our studio as we speak. We are not as big as Joe Rogan, where you can just send some people out and build some fucking underground rocket. Did you see that place, Jessie?
What?
The Rogan.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? It's great, and I love it.
It's something. It's very SpaceX.
Yeah, it feels like it, right? Like
yeah.
If you look at Joe Rogan's studio, everybody's like, "Hey, man, are you guys close to Joe Rogan's studio?" And we're like, "No, we don't even know where that is. That's underground.
No one knows where that is.
That is some Elon Musk shit that he's building, and we are not on that level."
I think it might actually be underground, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll actually start off with this story because one of our producers, Giorgio, you're a huge podcast guy. And you were lamenting to me about Joey Diaz moving. So he gave his farewell show, and he's out. He's completely done with Los Angeles. And then we heard Brendan Schaub from Fighter and the Kid saying he was probably moving to Austin as well.
Wait,
and,
where's Diaz going?
Is here.
Jersey.
Yeah, he's going to New Jersey. And then Theo Vaughn is also moving.
Nashville.
Yes, to Nashville. So that little world is all breaking up. And what we're trying to do is create like a huge podcast hub here down in Austin. It's close to Black Rifle and all of our friends and all that stuff. But ours was not intentional because of Rogan or anything. Like, it's just where everybody is and our advertisers are and all that other shit. Plus, we want to be in Texas with guns and all that other shit, right? But when they defund the police, we're not real amped about that. Luckily, Governor Abbott stepped in and said, "Hey, man, you start doing bullshit like that, we'll start holding back some property
wheelchair." That guy's in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. This is the first good thing he's done in a long time, by the way.
Him being in a wheelchair?
No, that's just
That's
how he
the
lives his
second.
life.
His life. Okay. Yeah.
No, I mean making sure that that this whole nonsense doesn't happen. The first thing he did was send additional officers down here.
Correct.
Right. And the second thing was like, you're not getting any of your property taxes.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. I did not know he was in a wheelchair. That makes me like him even more.
He's like Professor X. He just hasn't gone bald
How
yet.
did you not know that?
I've never seen him stand up.
Why do you think I've been calling him Governor Wheelchair for the last year?
Yeah, why do every time you say it, he says wheelchair?
Yeah. I thought it was.
And what did you think that was?
But sometimes I
Maybe he
just
was
say
in a wheelchair porn.
Sometimes I just
Russell
say
Brand.
wheelchair for no reason. Too,
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
That's true. To
Russell
make me
Brand is into
uncomfortable.
wheelchair porn. That's what infamously broke up him and Katy Perry. So I didn't know if he was into wheelchair porn. It was like, all right, cool. Everybody's got their own kink.
Is she like anti-handicap people or something?
Katy Perry?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's a weird thing to get mad at. You know what I mean? Like,
We've all got kinks. I mean, that seems like a
Sure.
pretty innocuous one.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
But when the only way you can get off is by wheelchair porn, when you're fucking Katy Perry, like you've got some other issues probably going on in your own life.
Maybe Katy Perry is just fucking boring.
Maybe. And that, Jessie, you've brought that up in the past.
Yeah.
That she's probably a fucking snooze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those fucking girls are, dude. Do you know what I mean?
But Katy Perry's got like the weird Jesus streak and all that other shit. Like, wasn't she a pastor's daughter too or something?
Yeah.
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 So I thought
Yeah.
she would have been a freak. But there's one thing she doesn't put up with, and that's wheelchair porn.
Yeah, it's just
I
it's
guess
a
you-
weird thing to tout as like your reasoning. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like so that everyone thinks he's a bad guy. It's kind of like, hey, look, what the fuck ever, dude.
I think it leaked. I don't think she went out and said anything.
You have to draw a line somewhere. And apparently it's right in front of people in wheelchairs.
What's your line, Dan?
I don't do that.
Have one.
No.
Yeah, you don't have any kinks? You ever seen wheelchair porn?
I didn't say I didn't have any kinks. I said nothing.
Nothing involving a wheelchair.
No, nothing would.
Nothing would be a like a
Nothing would be
line
so
in the
fucked up
sand.
that I would just leave.
Yeah.
What
Probably.
about a unicycle?
I don't know why the wheels are like the theme here.
Are we
That
staying
isn't-
on the wheel stuff?
Yeah, because it could be a number of wheels, like where it's just like, all right, cool. Maybe the 4 wheels freak you out and you'll go to 1, but you won't do all 4.
No, I'm really into Hot Wheels actually, because they have those wide base tires on the bottom, and it'll crunch the whole dick up all at once.
Goddamn right it will. That'll put it back up inside.
But
you
it's
if you're
not
careful.
heavy, so it doesn't do any real damage.
No, you'll be fine.
It's like slamming your dick in a fucking refrigerator door over and over again until your parents show up.
Ugh, happened to me a million times.
Yeah.
That in the microwave above the fridge.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I was trying to get a Hot Pocket out of there, and blammo, slam shut. Let's lead off today's fake news with a little redemption, brother. These were the words that Van Jones. Do you know who Van Jones is?
Yeah, he's a waste of life.
You should know who Van Jones is.
And a CNN
Black guy,
reporter, yeah.
Bold CNN guy. He's always shouting nonsense. That was his response and criticism to former George W. Bush official Scott Jennings. Jennings asked the CNN panel, I have to say I am dumbfounded by this. How is it that Bill Clinton has not been canceled by the Democrats? How has he survived all of these waves of cancellation when he has been one of the biggest violators of all of these rules in years? I mean, look, man, I still can't figure out the Bill Clinton thing.
I can't either. And the next line he said was even funnier. He said, we talk about the use of character to try and say Donald Trump is a man of lower character than Joe Biden. He's fair game to go after, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
So you're going to say that in one breath, and in the next breath, you're going to say character matters. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Clinton.
Yep.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Craziest shit ever.
The guy's a fucking child rapist,
Yeah.
for Christ's sake. But who cares?
It's almost shocking to see, and it's like, even last night with Kamala, I think I'm starting to get that right. Kamala.
Maybe.
With Kamala Harris speaking last night, I found it extremely odd that, you go through all of this, believe women and all this other shit. Kamala Harris was the very first one that says, when those allegations came out against Joe Biden, the tweet still exists that we should believe all women.
Yeah.
And now she's last night praising him he's an amazing man and this is the greatest opportunity of a lifetime and all this shit. Apparently, if you're nominated for vice president, you stop caring about rape, which is a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like being really anti-something until they give you money, essentially.
Yeah.
Which makes you a shill. That's what it makes
there it
you.
is. There it is.
She is a shill, complete one. And so Van Jones' reply to all that was, we believe in redemption, brother. Like, oh, dear.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
Thanks.
that's one thing you guys believe
Thanks.
in,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
Redemption. And
being
you're
able to apologize and do better.
He and fucking Don Lemon and Anderson Cooper are the conductors of the cancel culture train.
Yes.
So get fucked with your redemption brother bullshit. You are a hypocrite. You're human garbage. Get fucked.
Yeah, I don't understand how it applies to one party and not another party. So it'd be fine if you say, hey, man, we're going to give everybody redemption, right?
Yeah, why not?
Or a shot at redemption. But
Jennifer-
when it's just people in your own party,
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Jennifer Granholm said that these questions about Bill Clinton have been answered decades ago. That's what she said. So you're telling me this picture that came out last week of him with a woman that's clearly underage in the company of Jeffrey Epstein while this woman is at an airport clearly on the way to fucking Pedo Island and she's giving him a fucking shoulder massage in the airport?
Yeah.
That's been addressed decades ago? Jesus fucking Christ. This is why nobody believes you fucking people. No one believes you when you say Black Lives Matters for this reason. Nobody believes you when you say believe all women because of this shit right here. Because when it comes down to it, you don't believe all women. And you don't think Black Lives Matter. You think that Black Lives Matters when a white person kills them. And you think all women are fucking believable when it's a Republican that sexually assaults them. Get fucked.
Yeah, I was surprised at how quickly that Biden thing got swept under the rug with Tara Reid. Because, Jessie, we never heard another fucking word about that.
Yeah.
Homegirl came out and did an interview. All of it seemed to get buried. The press hasn't mentioned it once during this. Tonight, he's going to speak. Allegedly, it's going to be live. We'll see if that's true or not. Either way, I can tell you what, I'll be flipping over from the Lakers game to watch it.
Yeah.
To see this fucking gaff machine happen. But any shot he addresses any of that tonight?
Oh, the allegations?
Yeah, or anything.
No, dude.
Right?
No, that didn't happen. Right?
I don't know.
No one is even bringing it up.
Yeah, I mean, look, I have a problem with anybody bringing up allegations from 20, 30 years ago for anybody, including Joe Biden, right? He's not my fucking brand of smokes, obviously, politics-wise, but it doesn't matter. 35 years ago, whatever, like now coming out, always seems suspicious. Same with the Brian Callen thing that I talked about, where it was just like fucking 22 years ago. It's just, if you were going through it, something would have happened within that time frame and whatever. What I do have a problem with, though, is all the people like Trump and all these other guys where they're like, well, we believe those women, just not the ones against the people that we like. And it's like...
Like, where's Alyssa Milano behind, Tara Reid clapping and looking into camera?
Yeah.
Well,
nowhere to be found.
If you're wondering if that strategy is working, by the way, it's not.
It's not. If you're wondering if we even need to worry about it.
No, the polls are starting to flip again.
Yeah.
Back in Trump's favor. As a matter of fact, if you go on MyBookie right now and look at the presidential election, it's -120 for Trump and -110 for Biden.
Really?
Yeah.
MyBookie.com, promo code Drinkin Bros will double your deposit. So I put money down on that bet. Actually, this is dead serious. The day after, actually the night after Mueller testified, that was when I had bet on Trump, because I was like, oh, well, this was the biggest waste of time ever. And he came off as a frail, weak, gimpy fucking idiot. It's Mueller time. It's Mueller time, baby. And he said nothing there, and he looked like he didn't want to be there, and he looked afraid and all that other shit. And now you got the thing with the FBI lawyer getting popped for forging documents and all that other shit. Like, that's when I put my money down on Trump. It's interesting to see it flip back now. If there is some form of dementia tonight, it's hard to say what you would, I guess, classify that as. Just because it's not like a hard case of dementia, but like just a fucking blowout on live TV of like, holy shit, I don't know where I am and what's going on. Kind of like 2 nights ago when he said I'm Joe Biden's husband. If there is something like that tonight,
Joe.
Yeah. No, he said Joe.
No, definitely said Joe, Jessie. If there is something like that tonight, I wonder if the odds in Vegas swing even more in his favor. Because I wonder how that works, like what they're watching and what they're doing. Because right now, state by state, we kind of don't really know what's going on because of all this COVID shit. And I don't know how you're able to take proper polls or anything like that, because you can't get out and meet the people and ask them their opinion.
So the mail-in vote is happening. Is that the deal? They kept saying it last night.
Well, the Democrats want it. Republicans don't want it.
Okay, so they were saying it as if it's actually a thing.
In some states it is, yes.
Okay.
And as Dan has said a couple times on this show with the mail-ins, that it's been going on for years, this absentee ballot.
Right.
But I understand both sides of it, right? Democrats want all the people that are afraid. They basically want the scared pussies that are home who are afraid of COVID to mail in ballots and like, oh, just don't leave your house and you don't have to work. We'll pay for you. We'll just give you money to mail in ballots. Whereas, look, on the Republican side of this ballot issue, the post office would be way too overwhelmed. 330 fucking million people trying to vote. We couldn't get stimulus checks on time, for Christ's sakes. Like, there's no way you'll be able to count these ballots. And this election would drag on literally until 2021. And it's like, then what? So what are you going to wait 4 more months to tally up these votes?
Something like 23% of Americans vote by mail in an average presidential election year.
Yeah.
And it usually takes somewhere between 4 and 7 weeks to tally all those votes after the election.
Right.
Right. That's a problem. That clearly isn't working, and you're going to add more stress to it.
Right.
Like, that's why I've said before, don't it's not about the fraud thing. It's just like that's super inefficient to do. You can't. I mean, there's no way it'll work.
We essentially will not have a president for that amount of time, right?
No, he's still president until January 20th or whenever the inauguration is.
Yeah.
Oh,
but,
okay.
You know, that's not that much time. November 3rd until January 20th.
You're looking at 2 months, essentially. 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And that's not enough time to tally up all those votes. My opinion is this, and it's been the same. If you can go out in the streets and protest, and you feel safe about it, there's no reason you can't go out and vote on November 3rd in person as well. And I don't know what the reasoning would be behind that. Now, obviously, if you're older or you have some form of respiratory problem or whatever, and you want to stay in, fine. But to try to overwhelm your USPS system with all of that shit, there's no fucking way that'll happen.
That presents other difficulties, though, because then you have to get people to prove that they have respiratory issues, which is not legal. Like the ADA will not allow that. Americans with Disabilities Act won't allow that. So if you make that a thing where, you have to, like, you can claim that you're whatever the fuck, then everybody will just do it anyway. So it'll be a de facto mail-in ballot either way.
Right.
But I guess we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Yeah, there was a thing with the gyms here where you can work out, but you have to wear a mask. And I go, is there any way around that? Because that is fucking awful. And the guy goes, look, if you got a note from this doctor that was approved that you had some sort of respiratory problem that you couldn't wear the mask. And I was like, so if we brought that piece of paper, that slip of paper in, and so he goes, yeah, but he goes, it's pretty difficult to get, And I was like, because otherwise everybody else would do it.
Right.
It's not difficult to get.
Well, we have a private doc. Dr. Frank would hook us up, I think,
Yeah.
I have trouble sneezing. I'm afraid of sneezing. I can't wear the mask. I don't want to breathe in my own sneezes. Probably be fine on that, Just tell everybody at Gold's Gym here, hey man, I'm afraid of breathing in my own sneezes.
Yeah, I don't like the smell of it.
No, I hate the smell of sneezes. Ugh. Everybody does.
Yeah.
What's your prediction for tonight, D'Anthony? With Biden?
There will be a gaffe because he hasn't had a live performance without one. Well, I mean, he only did 2 press conferences in 2 months, but there hasn't been even the recorded thing he did had some issues, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be bad.
So I watched 2 segments, and Jessie, you saw one of them with me. Apparently, you were the only one that heard something else. But I'm Joe Biden's husband. He had 2 lines to say, right? We'll break it down from an acting perspective. He had 2 lines to say, and he beefed that. And the other one, and I didn't go too far into this on any of the shows, but it appeared as if he didn't know what to say to his wife. He called her the first lady.
The lady. Well, that's what happens, right? There's a glitch in your mind, and you try and find the next
words,
word, and so you just make it a funny thing. Do, right?
Yeah. If you were a comedy show, that's fine.
Sure.
But if you're running for president, it's a different story. But I guess it is a comedy show, so it is what it is.
At this point, what is the difference between a comedy show and that?
What's going on? Yeah.
I mean, I guess the comedy show is actually funny, but it's both. It's the same type of shit.
So there's 2 things that I'm going to keep my eye on tonight as far as Biden goes. One, if he can get through this without some huge gaffe. 2, I want to check the time code on this of how long he goes, because I think Kamala Harris was right around that 15, 20 minutes last night. I want to see he's the fucking presidential nominee, for Christ's sakes. It should be an hour, to be honest with you.
It should be like a State of the Union.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what his State of the Union would be like?
No. And that's why I'm so curious as to what happens tonight.
It should be at least as long as Obama's was last night.
Obama went
at the very least.
He went about 15 to 20 as well, but
I don't see him going that long.
No.
There's no way.
What do you think? Well, here's the interesting part. I don't know if my bookie has this bet, but if there was an over-under on how long he speaks tonight. Because if I was his team, I would keep it as short as possible tonight.
Yeah, but you can't. I mean, you have to decide what looks worse. Having a fucked up speech or like wheelchairing him out there like fucking Weekend at Bernie's.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what's it going to be? You don't have a whole lot of options
speech,
here.
I think.
Yeah, I'd be fine with Andrew McCarthy and Jonathan Silverman dragging him out there tonight. Both look great. Those are the two lead actors in Weekend at Bernie's, by the way. So it'd be great for them to prop up Biden and bring him out. Both still look relatively the same.
Yeah.
So I think you're fine on all that if you're going to carry him out tonight.
Or we just have the guy who played Bernie.
Yeah.
Walk out with him hand in hand. Is he still alive?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I heard he was a method actor, and for part 2, he actually
killed himself.
Offed himself, yeah. Can't confirm that. Also won't deny it. So we'll let some people at home figure that out. Some smart folks, because I'm not one of them.
Terry Kaiser.
What do you think tonight, Jesse? How long?
He's 81.
I think they're going to go shorter. It's a worse look to have something bad happen.
Yeah. I think in a short amount of time, you can always say afterward, we kept it short and sweet, to get out of there and blah, blah, blah. But you won't be able to hide during their baits.
They're not saying anything. So
yeah.
It's just, and they are calling it an infomercial, which it is, right? It's just an infomercial. They're going to do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
Well, I think without all the pomp that surrounds an in-person convention, it's stripped down and you see exactly what it is, which is a bunch of fucking dum-dums jacking each other off.
Yeah.
And saying nonsense. Like nothing they've said is in any way meaningful at all.
And next week will be no different, by the way. Like I'm not going to fool myself and think Republicans will be rad next week. Kid Rock is speaking next week, so I am amped about that.
What if he just sang?
By the way.
What if he just sang "Ba with the Ba"?
If he did an coup version of "Ba with a Ba," just with an acoustic guitar.
Yes.
Or he brought Sheryl Crow out.
Dude, I would love a little.
I saw your picture today.
Yeah.
And it's just Trump and Melania.
I hate that song so much.
Well,
it's not your karaoke duet.
Go to?
I don't have one of those.
Okay.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that is.
Surprising to hear about you, Dan, because I just thought.
The life of the party over here.
Yeah, I bet you're a Loggins guy. I bet he's a Kenny Loggins guy, a K-Log guy. But I don't know. Next up, Goodyear Tire is the get fucked of the week from you.
No, they can just get fucked.
Okay.
China.
It's not your get fucked of the week.
China is the get fucked of the week.
But China's been on your list a lot this year.
Yeah, because China fucking sucks.
Rightly so.
It's the worst. Leaked photos from the Goodyear plants in Topeka, Kansas have caused a bit of an uproar, including President Trump telling people to boycott the tire company. Per the photos, the organization submitted a list of acceptable and unacceptable protected speech. In the protected column, you'll find Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ+, Pride apparel, and the like. In the banned category, you'll find Blue Lives Matter, All Lives Matter, and any Make America Great Again attire. In response, Goodyear stated that it has asked its employees to refrain from political campaigning for any political party, but allows advocacy for racial justice, injustice, and equality issues. Got some news for you, Goodyear. BLM is a political organization.
Yeah, they're using Act Blue, which is the Democratic fundraising software to raise all their money.
Correct.
So you're telling me it's not a political organization?
No.
They have stated goals that they want to fucking dismantle this current system of government and replace it with something. That is a political end, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you even talking about? Goodyear. Nobody gives a fuck about Goodyear anyways.
Does anybody give a fuck about tires?
No.
What
people go buy tires are like, oh, these look good. They're kind of inexpensive.
I love the smell of a tire shop. I do, but I don't care what kind they are.
I just want to talk about though how incredibly weak the left in this country is. Mm-hmm. James Klug talked about it last week or the week before.
Yeah, 2 weeks before
ago.
When he was in Portland.
When he was in Portland, he was talking about how these people can't even bear the sight of a cop. It just drives them mad just to see a police officer, which, by the way, is the only reason, again, why I haven't come and taken all your shit is because of that cop and this justice infrastructure that you hate so much. But he discussed he laid out how just seeing a police officer makes these people lose their minds. Like it's unbelievable that would even be a thing. And now it's like, and this has been going on since 2016 too. People see a red hat with 4 words on it and lose their fucking mind.
Yeah.
Like, really? You're so sensitive. You're so fucking weak, mentally weak, that just the sight of somebody that disagrees with you drives you into a fucking rage. Then you are a weak piece of shit.
Yeah. It's crazy to me. I don't know what they were hoping to do with this at Goodyear, because let's face it, you can't get away with shit like that in today's world. Like, somebody's going to snap a photo, or somebody's going to send an email or call whoever and say, look what they're fucking doing here. And Goodyear's a huge company. Like, as soon as Trump went out and said, hey, man, on Twitter, boycott Goodyear, I think their stock fell like 5%. That's what happens. Like,
that's not how the media is covering it, though.
How are they covering it?
CNN's covering it by saying, oh, Trump's against cancel culture, but he's saying to cancel Goodyear. No, what he's saying is that we should hold companies accountable when they violate First Amendment. You do have the right to certain types of speech in a workplace. Now, they can limit all political speech, but they can't limit one side of political speech, right?
Right.
So that's exactly what they've done here. It's against the law. Somebody's going to sue them for sure. It's coming soon. So we'll see how that all goes.
Yes, but everything that pretty much every outlet besides Fox and stuff is saying, and everyone Maddow is just can't believe that he is spending his time telling people to boycott an American company when he had, do you know what I mean? It's just like everything about this story, if you looked it up right now, would not be saying what we're saying. And that's the difference, is that these people have the support of the media. These people that you're saying are so sensitive and get so freaked out and so enraged, they have the support of mainstream media behind them. And it makes you feel very entitled. It makes you feel like I'm doing the right thing and everyone is on my side. What they don't understand, and especially with Goodyear's stocks falling, what they don't understand is you don't actually have.
Right.
You have mainstream media, but that is such a small percentage. But it feels like such a big thing, right? When you're justified in these feelings, they get even fucking crazier. Anyways.
Yeah. The other thing about it is these companies like Goodyear, like, where that's, let's face it, man, like, tire companies are pretty red state, like, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not buying new Goodyear tires for your Prius out there.
I think it was something like in Ohio, they employ like 60,000.
It's huge. Yeah. It's huge in Ohio.
I thought they made blimps, but that's just me.
They do make.
Look, and that's how much I don't, Goodyear, whatever.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Jessie that you don't know. She's not a big tire fan, huge blimp fan.
Yeah.
Huge.
What about Blimpies, the sandwich place?
Look.
It's not very good.
We go Jersey Mike's. We're a Jersey Mike's family.
It can't be bad, though.
No, it's not. It's not bad. It's not bad. There's a new one here in Austin that we went to.
Thundercloud.
Yeah. Everybody was talking about the Thundercloud subs.
It's the real deal.
I'm gonna tell you the truth here. I had one the other day, and goddamn it, I endorse it. I support their whole shit. But I don't support Goodyear. I do support ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. Finest mattresses in the land. Right now, if you get a mattress, you get 2 free pillows. And if you're a member of the military, a first responder, work in the government, if you have a government job, or a teacher, you get 30% off everything in the entire store. That is mattresses, sheets, pillows, adjustable bases, covers, in case you're doing any butt stuff. You might want to have a cover down on that white mattress. And if you're a regular dumb civilian like myself, 25% off. And Jabes, with everything they got going on there, they got that 36-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest there at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. So you can bundle all that shit together. If you're in one of these cities that's not opening up for a while, congratulations. You might as well have a nice fucking bed, dude. Stay inside.
Sure.
Hide from the world. Maybe put the covers over your head and never wake up. Maybe squat. Not pay rent. Renters, squatters' rights, and all that shit. Ooh. Sleep in your bed. Spend the money on the mattress, not on the rent, is what we're saying to you right now. Because I read a story right before coming on air here that it was Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, who was the one who shut down Michigan and Michigan State in the Big Ten for football. And that was part of the big reason that the Big Ten was shut down. I can definitely see this whole fucking thing was political. But that is for another show. It's time to start charging Portland rioters with terrorism at this point. Protesters in Portland broke out the windows of a county government building, sprayed lighter fluid inside of it, and set it on fire at a demonstration that started Tuesday night and ended Wednesday morning with clashes against the police. Police Chief Chuck Lavelle. I'm a big name.
That's a good name.
That's a great name.
Chuck Lavelle, yeah.
Come on, man.
That'd be a good sports name.
Chuck Lavelle stated that the solution is in a critical mass of community and partners coming together to denounce this criminal activity and call it out, as it does not represent what we know that our community at large wants or values. I'll take it a step further here, Chuck. If you assholes on the left want anyone to take you seriously, start openly denouncing each of these episodes of violence without some caveats fucking attempting to justify their behavior.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
I don't get it either. Ironically, this is the place of one of the first gay marriages in America.
Yeah.
This very building. It's like an effigy for the gay community. This is how there's no sense of irony on the left or in any kind of fundamentalist group of people. There's never any kind of sense of irony. There's also a 30-minute video of an attack on a man in Portland late Sunday that got released Wednesday, and it was kind of a two-pronged attack. First, they were beating up some trans woman,
right,
and then they dragged some dude out of his car, I guess, and then fucking beat the Christ out of him as well.
See that guy who got kicked in the head?
Yeah.
They're looking for him right now.
Oh no, they know who it is, and they're looking for the culprit.
For the guy right now?
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. When you do shit like that, because homeboy wasn't even wearing a mask. None of those people, by the way, in Portland are wearing masks during all this shit.
Antifa is.
Yeah, Antifa is.
But not for that reason.
And when you do some shit like that, there's 90 fucking camera phones on you at all times now.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen? That you're not going to get caught? Because what happens is you end up on one of these cameras, and then the fucking jump out boys, dude, will zip, 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 come and get you eventually.
Well, I think back to what Jessie was saying before, who on the left in the mainstream media is out there denouncing this shit? Who's on the stump saying this is not the way?
No one.
So all these fucking little skinny turds here is that what they're doing is fine. Like, oh, it's understandable, right? That makes them go out and do it again. By the way, I'm going to say this every fucking week until this shit stops. This is terrorism.
Yeah.
It is the definition of terrorism. They're trying to use violence to a political end. That is the literal definition of terrorism. And I'm going to read 18 U.S. Code 2332B, which is acts of terrorism transcending national boundaries. So it's international terrorism, right? Doesn't apply to domestic terrorism necessarily, but let's just read it. So prohibited acts and offenses include whomever kills, kidnaps, maims, commits an assault, resulting in serious bodily injury, or assaults with a dangerous weapon any person within the United States in violation of the laws of any state or the United States shall be punished as prescribed in subsection C, which reads, for assault with a dangerous weapon or assault resulting in serious bodily injury by imprisonment for not more than 30 years, for destroying or damaging property of any structure, conveyance, or any real or personal property, imprisonment for not more than 25 years, for attempting or conspiring to commit these crimes, for any term of years up to the maximum punishment that would have applied had the offense been completed. Meaning if they had planned to go assault somebody, 30 years, right? That would be the max. And then, of course, just threatening to do those things is a 10-year sentence.
Right.
Right. I think we need to remove the transnational part of that and start applying this to domestic terrorists. Not just these assholes, but white supremacists, anybody that's trying to use violence or the threat of violence to persuade political ends. You have to go to fucking jail forever. Like that. Why are we tolerating this?
You know, it seems to be a state by state case basis here. There was Jessie and I had talked about these two lawyers maybe a week or so ago on RPR about these two lawyers who showed up in New York with Molotov cocktails and threw them into a police cruiser and burned the whole fucking thing down. Well, they caught them about 20 minutes later, and both of them are facing at a minimum of, 35 years in prison or 45 years in prison?
You're talking about those two attorneys or whatever?
Yeah, 45 years in prison.
Yeah.
And there's no going back now.
No, you deserve every single day of that sentence. Fuck you.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where you're a lawyer, first and foremost. So you know what the law is. You deliberately broke it, and you know how many years you get for that. So why this doesn't apply to Oregon makes zero sense to me. And I know the mayor supports these protests oddly, but who's going to pay for all this shit is what I just can't wrap my mind
Well, they
around.
keep asking the federal government to pay for it, don't they?
Well, they're not going to.
No.
So what happens when these cities, let's say Portland just completely burns down, right? What happens then? Do you just kind of walk, is it become Baltimore, Detroit at that point where you're just like, that was a fun city for a while and then now we're all done with it?
I guess.
It's starting to feel like that video game, man.
Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah, where it's just like,
a little
let's
bit.
just fucking burn shit down and be
What
people.
I don't like about it is calling it protesters and demonstrations for certain, like Black Lives Matter and things like this. Like, I want us to distinguish between them in different ways, right? Because there are people that are protesting in the right way. That's not what this is.
In Portland, though?
I'm sure.
Yeah, there have to
There's
be.
people everywhere. I mean, there
we're
are
on, like,
peaceful.
day,
but
88 or
They're
something?
different, and we need to. The fact that you even said, "Are there people protesting peacefully in Oregon?" is exactly the problem, right?
Right.
Like there are, everywhere, and these are the things that are being lumped in. Like these situations are being lumped in with protest, which we just need to find a way, like he's saying, to distinguish. Like this is terrorism. These demonstrations are terrorist demonstrations, if that's what you want to call them, so that people can fucking wrap their heads around the fact that these are different things. And it's not the same thing. And we're not even going to say Black Lives Matter in the same fucking, or whatever it is, sentence with it, right?
But if I'm in Portland and I'm a police officer, I leave that city immediately and let it burn down. And anyone that calls, I don't help. Like, I am out of there. Why put up with this bullshit night after night? I don't understand it. I would just fucking leave at that point.
Right, but yeah.
For real, like what are you saving now at this point? What's so valuable in Portland? If your own citizens don't care about your own city, why should you give a fuck about it? Like at that point, I don't understand it. And I met a couple from Seattle too, in the airport on the way back a couple weeks ago, and I was chatting with them. I was like, "What's Seattle like?" You know, and they were like, "Oh, we don't go downtown there." And I was like, "Okay, so what happens down there?" And they were like, "Well, it's what you see on the news. It's crazy as shit." And I go, "So mentally, you guys have just checked out of Seattle as a whole, and you live in the suburbs, and that's that. Like Seattle's just Seattle at this point." And they're like, "Yeah, that's what everybody has done there." And I was like, "All right, it's got to be the same way in Portland as well." So, look, man, after 88 days of protests, let the fucking city burn. Like that's it.
I mean, look. The police's job is to protect and serve, and the government that presides over them, their job is to enforce the will of the people. Now, if the will of the people of Portland and Seattle and these other cities are just to let their city burn, then fucking you're obligated sort of to let them, frankly. Who am I as mayor or whomever to step in and tell the people, look, if you're the people of Seattle and Portland and you don't want that, you better start fucking talking. You better start going to the press and saying, hey, we don't want this shit.
Yeah.
This isn't us. This isn't what we're about, because all we hear right now are fucking equivocations from people. Like, oh, I understand. No, you can't say that. You can't fucking, it's like a child. You can't reason with a child. Like, you just have to tell them to shut the fuck up sometimes, right? Because they're clearly not intellectually capable of understanding what you're trying to say. And clearly these people in Portland are not.
Yeah, we say hush that mouth up around our house, but, I understand.
You got to put a little stank on it sometimes.
Yeah, tell them to shut the fuck up. It's not like telling a 2-year-old to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're watching on YouTube Live right now, hammer that like button. And also go to manscaped.com after the show is over.
Yeah.
Best in the biz if you're shaving your pubes. For real, that's what the company is. Your balls will thank you is their slogan.
They also
is their
said,
motto.
they said something
mantra.
about it being the NBA playoffs, so you need to get clippers for your Nuggets.
Correct.
Which is, I appreciate the Clippers and Nuggets, being available for that pun.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge pun guy, but I get it.
So they're on the court at the NBA games.
They are, yeah.
And they're on the mats of every UFC fight now, and everybody's like, dude, you guys have made it, man. You fucking use Manscaped. And I was like, no, it's just a great product. It's awesome. It's affordable, and it's something every dude should have. Just go get a kit, man. It comes in a nice like leather dop kit. You get some ball deodorant with it, and it is the best pube trimmer you could possibly have.
It's
Like,
made specifically for that. It's
for
a tool.
that. It's hard to say because you're like, hey man.
No, it's a tool that's made for that.
Yeah.
It's got a ceramic blade so it doesn't nick you. It's got the 3 settings that most people would trim their fucking dick and balls down to,
Yes.
right? Or your fucking vagine or whatever you have. I don't know how women work. I don't know.
Yeah,
what that
she
is.
still has a vagina.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't fall out after you have kids.
No.
Well, anyways, the Lawnmower 3.0 is the best piece of technology that exists for your dick and balls.
Yes. It is affordable, it is super cheap, and it is classy. So if you put it on your countertop, anybody will come over and be like, holy shit, that's a nice kit. Everybody said that. So go to manscaped.com. Promo code Drinkin Bros will get you 20% off on that.
And free shipping, by the way.
And free shipping?
Yeah.
Fuck you, really?
I also recommend subscribing, so you get those new blades every 3 months.
That's true. Yeah.
That's how you get the awesome leather bag. Do you guys?
Yeah,
I've got one, yeah.
You what?
I've got one, yeah.
I've got one.
Yeah.
Little dop kit, yeah.
So if you subscribe right now, you'll get that
What up?
and boxers, which both are fucking awesome.
Yeah, you wear my boxers all the time, so.
I
They're
wear them.
really comfortable.
Not yours, but
Yeah.
the ones they gave me.
Well, you wear them after I wear them, and then and Jessie wears them. Go to manscaped.com, promo code Drinkin Bros, 20% off and free shipping. Next up, Turkey is becoming another Middle Eastern authoritarian theocracy. Charlie Wilson tried to warn us about Afghanistan and no one listened. Now it's happening again in Turkey, a country that has historically abided by a principle of separation of church and state, now called, say that word.
Laicite.
Laicite.
Laicite, yeah.
Turkey, under the rule of it's Erdogan, has seen a resurgence of religious authoritarianism. Erdogan has been criticized for many actions, including intentional suppression of the press, but now he has his sights set on social media.
Yeah, there's these Turkish exiled journalists in Germany. What's the name of the show? We Are Free is the name of the show. And it's been banned like 16 separate times by the Turkish government, but they keep slipping the ban because of social media. Like they're still able to put, like they banned the website. Then they have to get a new website, ban the website, get a new website.
Right.
So
It's like Kirill.
essentially, yeah. Essentially it is, yeah. So now they're putting pressure on social media. By they, I mean the Turkish government is putting pressure on social media companies. And look, there's not a good chance that social media companies are going to bend on that, probably.
Right.
So what's going to happen is Turkey is going to start isolating itself and its internet like China does and restricting access to anything outside of Turkey that isn't government approved. And we've seen all this before, right? This is what happens in China. It's what happened in a different kind of way in Afghanistan back in the day. And what happens when you take fundamentalism and cut it off from the rest of the world? The Taliban and Al-Qaeda. That's what happens. The international community needs to fucking address this right now. I don't give a fuck about all this COVID bullshit. Like, this has to be dealt with right goddamn now. Otherwise, this is going to be the next state sponsor of terrorism.
The problem is this bullshit in Turkey's been going on forever. This fucking Turdagon guy nailed it. Boom. Trademark, Ross Patterson, LLC. Has allowed this shit to go on forever. He's always been involved in some form of weird terrorism or weird fucking... remember the Hito Turkoglu? Like,
Yeah.
He's in it now too as well. And they've got like... Didn't they jail Enes Kanter's fucking father and all that shit?
They
Like,
wanted to arrest Cantor, yeah.
yeah. They've always got some fucked up, underhanded shit going on. This isn't surprising to me, but look, they're on the edge there. Like, is Turkey considered part of the Middle East? Because it's right there.
I mean, what else would it be?
Yeah.
It's right there in Europe, so it's like, you know?
The Middle East starts on that side of the fucking Baltics.
Okay. Because to me, it kind of like my parents went there on like a fucking vacation, you know? So you're kind of like, you're right near all the fucking hotspot shit. Like,
Well, Turkey did try to join the EU, I believe, and they...
chucked them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you wonder where they are, where they stand. And then like these weird incidents will happen every 4 or 5 years. Where, remember that bomb in the fucking airport? Was that suicide bombers or something? But it was something against the government. And it was just like, what the fuck goes on over there? Like, Turkey's one of those weird countries that's kind of right in the middle of all this bullshit from
What
happening.
has been for 3,000 years now, Constantinople is like the waypoint between Asia and fucking Europe for a long time.
So my
And
point to all
Africa
this
and Europe as well.
is why do we expect Turkey's not going to be anything but Turkey during shit like this. Of course, they'll
Well,
control
because
the
for
fucking
fucking
internet.
90 years they operated under laissez-faire, which is like no religion in government, period. And it was a hard and fast rule, and nobody broke it. Now it's not the case.
Right.
This guy's bringing it back. So now you have to start paying attention to him, which means you need to start pulling their trade deals. You need to stop running fucking supplies, to stop using their ports, all that stuff, because fuck them. Like, if they're going to engage in this type of behavior, suppression and stuff like that, then they got to go. Like, that's the power you have in the international community, but you have to be ready for the consequences too, because when you cut off economic ties with a country like that, they fucking get mad.
Yeah.
Then they tell other people, America just fucked us, and then we become a target of Turkey.
Yeah.
Right? It is what it is. It's an unfortunate circumstance, but they're the ones making the decision. If it comes down to some kind of fucking conflict, they're not going to win. And I think they know that.
I agree. And they always seem to be in conflict with India as well. And it's like...
Well, what you'll see Turkey get real close with Russia. If this continues,
Yep.
they'll get real close with Russia, despite being religious fundamentalists, which Russia's had a lot of problems with in Chechnya and a couple of other fucking former Soviet countries. But what you'll see is that there's not a whole lot of people out there who will deal with this kind of bullshit, but Russia will deal with pretty much anything to put their thumb in our eye. Right. So we'll see what happens. I mean, look, that's kind of what happened in Iraq. When we started invading Iraq, we saw all these like Russian weapons and night vision goggles and stuff like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Turns out Russia and Iran had been partners for years, and Iran was sending weapons over into Iraq. So that's how it works, man. I mean, the enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of deal.
Right.
And nobody is more pragmatic on the international scale than Vladimir Putin. He'll take any chance he gets to weaken America.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Well,
Easily.
Turkey is Asia Minor.
Turkey is the Middle East.
There it is.
It's absolutely the Middle East. Just
Hawk,
Google it.
what are you talking about?
Turkey.
And Jesse, you've been against Turkey on Thanksgiving for years.
Turkey, country
I
in the
really
Middle
want to
East.
point that out as well.
So Hawk is like, just tell the boys that Turkey is Asia Minor.
Yeah, well,
and you'll
he's-
sound really smart.
He's wrong, because
so
if you
thanks
just
a lot,
if you
Hawk.
just Google it, Turkey subheading country in the Middle East. Sorry, buddy.
Is it,
I don't care.
I'll still need to see some more proof on that. I don't ever want to go there anyway, so that was never on my list. So whatever happens with Turkey, if it gets wiped out, well, whatever. I don't have any Turkish ties. Although,
Is that how you
I
think?
do
are
like
you-
turkey, like the food.
I don't,
do?
I don't.
Yeah,
You're the only one.
You're the only one, Dan.
I like fried turkey.
I like it on sandwiches.
it's the worst way.
Like at Jersey Mike's.
Fried's the worst way
Why is it the worst?
because there's no way that it gets
Moist.
moist and cooked in the way that it's supposed
Have
to.
you
It's
ever
just
had a
too
fried
big.
turkey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Everyone
It's
I've ever
all right.
had was delicious and very moist inside.
You need...
you were drunk, dude.
Yeah, you were drunk.
Well,
you need
that's probably true.
Do you know what I
crispy
mean? Like by
skin
the
on there,
time, yeah, no,
There's
no,
nothing
no,
you can
no.
really do to turkey unless on a sandwich. Like I'll have it at Jersey Mike's or something, but that's about it. Like
That's not even real turkey.
Yeah,
though. It's
that's
like,
a turkey
They take a
loaf.
whole
Is it
turkey.
really?
They take
Yeah.
they take a whole turkey, feathers and all, throw it into
Yep.
a fucking wood chipper, and the goo that comes out the other side, they compact it and then slice it.
God damn, is that real?
Just
That's what fucking
beaks and
deli meats
vaginas.
are, bro.
Didn't
Yep.
need to
What
know
did you
that.
think it was?
Didn't need to know that. Got
That's
a little
why-
bit of real news on the fake news today. Didn't need to know that in my life. I thought it was the purest turkey. Like hey man, they plucked out all the feathers. And
What do you think hot dogs are?
I know what hot dogs are.
Oh, okay.
But
It's
shredded
lips and
turkey,
assholes.
I thought was actual turkey that they just,
What do you think? They just like
Shredded it.
they cook the turkey whole and then like just slice it?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, motherfucker. There's bones and shit in there.
Well, I thought they deboned it.
No.
So
Have you ever
Why would
cut
it-
a turkey on Thanksgiving? Like you don't get any meat from it, right?
no,
like
it sucks.
it's all
Turkey fucking sucks.
Well, turkey
all
breasts are
bone
huge.
and right.
But the rest of it is bullshit.
rest of it-
yeah, but
bullshit.
enough to serve a lunch rush at Jersey Mike's.
No.
Like you're gonna need a loaf
No.
with beaks and butts and vaginas in
I
there.
can provide the loaf, but the turkey, that's disappointing. Next up, we got Feels CBD. D'Anthony.
Feels.
What's the URL? Do we have our own private one? Are we going?
Yeah, it's
going onesie twosies
it's
with it.
feels.com/Drinkin Bros /Drinkin Bros.
Feels.com/Drinkin Bros. That's FEALS.com/Drinkin Bros. Look, we're doing CBD edibles here. This is one of those things, man. We've had a lot of success with KillcliffCBD.com, right?
Yeah.
Best drinkable on the planet. You're drinking one right now.
I am, yeah.
By the way, promo code Drinkin Bros, 20% off. It's KillcliffCBD.com. Edible wise, And if you're getting drops, now, Jessie, I brought the drops home for you yesterday. Mm-hmm. You got a weird look on your face right now.
Just that beeping. But yep,
Wow, that beeping outside?
it's fine.
Yeah.
Somebody's mom's backing up out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like for a really long time.
Backing that ass up.
'Cause she's fat.
I gave you the drops last night. You had them.
Yeah.
Went to sleep like a midget
Like
on
a
Quaaludes last night.
little baby.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was the Democratic convention or feels, but I really think that it was. It was a different kind of relaxation. I mean, I was watching this thing like, oh, Obama has a point, and I knew that feels like was
You were like,
working.
whoa,
Do you know what I mean?
whoa,
Like,
whoa,
whoa,
whoa, whoa.
I'm
Yeah.
getting real chilled out right now, right?
We're a big fan of CBD.
Yes.
We talked a lot of shit in the beginning. I just think they didn't have it dialed in, to be honest with you. Killcliff came around with the drinkables. That was the best.
Yeah.
And so then we were like, all right, well, how do we get into edibles? There was probably 18 or 19 companies that had sent us CBD products.
Right.
And all of them were kind of garbage. And then Feels sent us these. And we were like, oh, shit. This is like the nicest, classiest shit. They have it on lock.
Yeah.
We didn't want to tell you to go buy shit that wasn't fucking good.
Right.
Feels is great, man. They've got droplets, they've got edibles, and you can jack up the fucking milligrams on these goddamn
Yeah,
things.
it's really a high quality product, and the other part of it is that they have a membership program, right?
Yes.
Which makes sure you're always going to get free shipping. I mean, when you sign up the first time, you're going to get 50% off your first order too. Mm-hmm. So they like that's a huge discount, but it's because from someone who's worked in marketing at Black Rifle, I know we do this. We believe in the product so much. We're like, yeah, we'll give you. It's like a fucking drug dealer almost.
Yeah.
Like we'll give you one for free. Not for free entirely, but we'll give you one super cheap, and you come back and pay later because we know you're coming back. Because it's
And
really,
it comes in this fucking classy box. I mean, it's great.
The whole thing
it's
is
a great
great,
product. We went through a bunch of these to try to find the right one, and
I mean,
we
if you
landed
have-
with feels.com
I think it's
/Drinkin
important
Bros.
to say that they're from crops like grown in the U.S.
Correct.
Which
Yeah.
is not really how a lot of
You're not getting
companies
this bullshit
are.
from
So
China, man, where it's
Yeah.
like, got a weird bunch of weird symbols on a glass brown bottle, and you're like, oh, good luck with it.
yeah,
Pop that in your fucking soup and enjoy the nights.
Yeah.
Go to feels.com /Drinkin Bros. That's FEALS.com /Drinkin Bros. Next up, there's a new Girl Scout cookie, you fat fucks.
people get excited about this stuff, man.
Hey, man, this was a huge story, and I was like, what's so great? What's so great about this goddamn cookie? The Girl Scouts of the United States of America, which D'Anthony has recently signed up for because you identified as a Girl Scout last
I
week.
did, yeah. I actually have the uniform at home still.
Yep. You'll probably be wearing that on next week's news. They announced on Tuesday.
Once you can't see my legs anymore.
Yeah.
Because I look good in the top, but the skirt is like,
It's very short.
It's real short.
Yeah, real
But I
short.
got it cut that short on purpose.
Wow.
So it's for me and whomever, but it's not for
and
you
it's
guys.
very high waisted too, which I didn't.
Yeah, I like the high-waisted
all
thing.
the way. Yeah,
It's nice. That's very in right now. It
is.
very in. They've announced that they've got a new flavor of cookie, Toastier, with an exclamation mark.
I don't know about that name.
yeah.
But
Toastier.
it's a bread. It's like shaped like a slice of bread.
Yep.
And it is French toast and it has icing on it.
fucking A. I'll take fucking.
All I need to know-
five.
All I need to know is what kind of wine goes with it now, because they do that.
Red
they do
wine.
wine pairings for red wine is like 80 different fucking types of grapes. Come on.
But here's the thing. You go red with a Girl Scout cookie, correct?
Yeah, but he's saying what? Go ahead.
Oh,
I don't
that
know.
I don't know, but if it's usually a red or white type of sitch.
Well, there's only red or
white
white.
with seafood. Come on, you got to go white with seafood though, right?
Or citrus. It depends. Like if I don't know what all the Girl Scout cookies. Let me look at their lineup right quick.
Well, they got Thin Mints. They got
Yeah.
They got the
oatmeal.
coconut.
Coconut. Coconut's the best one. in
Coconut.
my
You mean the
opinion.
Samoas?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what they're called?
That's my jam right
Racist.
there.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah, so the lemon ups and lemonades, which are two of theirs, you would definitely want to drink something white with that. You
Yeah.
don't want to drink red wine with
Nobody gets those, but anyway.
that. Well, probably
Eh.
not.
No.
There's a couple weirdos
Shortbread.
out there.
You're a
Shortbread's
terrorist
probably red.
if you get those.
Well, that seems.
Calm down. There's literally only two that are good. So
Calm
now
down,
we have.
Shortbread.
Which, like, Samoas are good. Although
Yes.
I think people call them caramel delights now.
Because Samoans is racist.
I don't know.
Caramel Delights, Thin Mints, and I guess this new one. Any other one that you buy will indicate your terrorism.
Yeah.
Do you put your Thin Mints in the freezer?
Yeah.
Yes, you have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
100%.
Moana.
As well as my Reese's, but controversial stance. So
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to go too far into
No,
that.
there's like candy and stuff in the freezer, especially chocolate-based candy.
Candy
and
in the freezer.
That's a people like that shit.
Yeah.
You know, the Girl Scout Association has started selling online now because of COVID.
Have they really?
Yes, which means you can sit your fat fucking ass in your fat fucking ass home
Yeah.
and order 90 boxes of Samoas and fucking Thin Mints, and nobody can shame you now.
I know what I'm doing
Yeah,
this
you don't.
weekend.
You don't
I'm gonna
have
watch
to.
Moana and have some Samoans.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking walk past those little judgy ass girls.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, "Oh, how many boxes do you want?" I said I wanted fucking 10, kid.
Yeah.
I'll tell a kid to get fucked. I don't care.
No, I know you will.
I've told your kid to get fucked. I
Yeah.
think.
At this point, you're just dealing with their parents. Those bitches aren't fucking going door to door or
No.
really putting in work
Nope.
Yeah.
anymore.
Do you remember
It's all
those-
parents going to their workplace
Mm-hmm.
and fucking getting a check?
Do you remember those troops that set up outside of the weed dispensaries?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And then
brilliant.
they got
The
caught,
best.
they caught all kinds of flack for it. Like, no, dude, that's exactly what you do.
Dude, those
being a great
bitches are gonna
salesman.
run the world
Yeah.
someday,
Yeah, dude.
They're mean girls probably too, though.
and they will rule the world someday.
Just got to be careful.
Probably. Next up, the first prosecution from the Durham probe pleads guilty. Kevin Kleinsmith, an attorney formerly with the Justice Department, admitted in court Wednesday that he inserted fabricated information into an email that was used to request a FISA warrant to spy on the Trump campaign. During the plea hearing, Jesus Christ, Ross, I'm going full Biden today. During the plea hearing, Boasberg
Maybe.
asked Kleinsmith. It sounds like we're all using code names.
That
here
was the
today.
judge, by the way. So
Yeah.
the judge, our judge or prosecutor, whomever it was, asked Kleinsmith to affirm that he, quote unquote, intentionally altered the email and added language that individual number one was not a source or blah, 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 right? So the judge asked the guy, you intentionally altered the email to certain information that was not originally in the email, right? And he said, yes, Your Honor. So he said he actually admitted to it, pleaded guilty
Yep.
in open court. Man, this is another example of Obama-era carryovers, like using their position and authority in the Justice Department and in the CIA to come after the Trump administration during the campaign, and then once he was elected as well.
Yeah.
Like, what do you call that? I don't know. I mean,
I'm not sure, man.
sedition is the word that comes to mind, but I'm not sure if that would be the legal definition of this. If it is indeed a conspiracy, and it seems like it is, because there are documents now that show the Obama administration giving orders to people to spy on the Trump campaign. And here we see not only were those orders given, but the FISA warrants were fucking fabricated.
Yeah.
That is, at very least, like some kind of violation of civil rights, if nothing else, right? I mean, I don't know what else. I'm not a legal scholar necessarily, so I don't know what you would even call this.
Well, I am, and I would call it a writ of habeas corpus, is what I would call it first and foremost. Obviously, Jessie, heretofore thou, I would say in reference to the prosecution that this is probably going to come up next week during the Republican convention, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And Trump's going to go all in on this. But I wasn't surprised by this. The only thing that I was surprised by was that this didn't garner more media attention.
Well, not
I mean,
surprised by that at all at any
exactly.
point now.
Can we harken back
I mean-
to what we were saying in the beginning?
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Bill Clinton, the former president of the United States, who's already been literally on trial for his fucking sexual bullshit through the years.
Actual rape, and as well as his nonsense in the
Yeah.
fucking White House. But
Yeah,
Right.
And that's not. Not only does the mainstream media not report it, he still gets a spot in the DNC. And by the way, if you read Chris Saliza's fucking winners and losers from the DNC every day from the convention,
Right.
it's all the people that spoke were the winners, and then Trump was the loser. Like, thanks for that fucking hard-hitting reporting, you fucking cunt. Let's be
boy.
real honest about this shit here, though. This is all these turds in America on the left right now that are talking about, authoritarianism, King Trump, and all this other bullshit. Your fucking party has systematically, over the last 4 years, done everything in its power, including rigging your own fucking convention in 2016 to fuck Bernie Sanders over,
Twice.
to subverting the court of the course of justice, to fucking actually using the Justice Department and our intelligence apparatus in this country to go after a campaign that you didn't like, and then continue to go after him from beyond the grave with Obama's bullshit. Like it's just projection. They're projecting like, well, we're doing this, so they're probably doing it too. Right? Show me the fucking proof that the Republicans have done any of this shit, that they've tried to use their authority so far to shut down political dissent because there's riots happening all over the country.
Yeah.
And if they wanted to, they could shut that shit down real fast. Like the Jump Out boys wouldn't just be grabbing people up with warrants, they'd be grabbing up everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's not fucking happening. There's no evidence of it. The left in this country has become authoritarian. And we've known it for a little while, but now they're fucking putting it on full display. They whipped their dick and balls out and threw it out on the table. Unfortunately, they have small dicks and even smaller balls.
Tiny balls. Very tiny balls.
Some could be mistaken for a large clit, probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Seen those?
Oh, yeah.
Frightening.
Clitoris.
Clitoris.
I call it. I like
disease.
the. I
But,
like the long
disease.
eye
It
sound.
goes back to if you have the moral high ground, you are invincible, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you have the moral high ground and you have the mainstream media backing you, you can get away with so much more. And believe me, they've been trying to find on the Republican Party
Yeah.
something. I mean,
If there was a smoking gun,
fucking hard.
If there was a smoking gun towards
Yeah.
Trump, it would
It
be on the
would've
news
been-
every single day
Yeah.
for the rest of your
Absolutely.
life. But what you need to admit, Democrats, is that your fucking hero Barack Obama is a goddamn criminal.
Yeah.
He is a criminal who, during his lame duck session and then afterwards, using his influence, tried to subvert the course of a fucking of an election in this country, which is what they fucking accused Trump of, and they got proven wrong, right? Like, oh, he's using Russia to get elected. Actually, what really was happening was the fucking lame duck president Obama was using the intelligence community and the FBI to fucking go after that campaign. That's what really happened in real fucking life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus fucking Christ, you're so
No, but
goddamn
he's-
blind you can't see what the fuck's going on right in front of you.
Gosh, but he's so charming, huh?
Yeah. So is Charles
he could
Manson.
just like
Yeah.
speak so. I mean, I'm wrapped up in it.
Yeah.
He's a real
You got misty-eyed last
professional.
night, yeah.
He's a real professional at what
Folks,
he
me,
does.
and
Yeah.
Michelle,
Yeah.
care about this country.
He just doesn't take it seriously.
yeah.
Donald Trump did. We hoped he would take it seriously, but he's not. So the black community had the best economy in the history of black people in America. Didn't take it seriously, I guess.
Yeah.
Get
Crazy.
fucked, loser.
Crazy. Obama should use keeps, I think. So should Trump.
So should LeBron James.
Nothing's gonna work for LeBron James.
No, he's
He's
already-
tried
Keeps.
every
Yeah.
single thing.
He
you
like
can
stapled
try.
some shit to his head, I think.
Yeah,
at some
Yeah.
duct taped some hair on there. Go
Yeah.
to keeps.com/Drinkin Bros. Keeps the hair you got. KEEPS.com/Drinkin Bros. Look, 2 out of 3 people are going bald, dude wise, in this country.
At an
Stop it.
earlier age than you would think.
Yeah, like
Correct.
in their 20s and 30s.
Yeah,
typically,
yeah, man. And by using a shampoo in the shower, it'll give you a 90% better rate
Yeah.
of trying to keep the hair that
It's
you
like-
currently have.
It's like starting Botox early.
Correct.
Like you want to start if you're going to use that and you care about that shit, you want to start using it in your like fucking mid to late 20s
Yeah.
to prevent that shit from ever happening. That's how you do it.
Oh,
It's
whoops.
just well, made a lot of mistakes.
Too late.
Yeah, so like that's when you want it's a prophylaxis, right? Like what is the old saying? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, right? This is the fucking prevention right here.
Correct. And it's free. So we're not even asking you to buy anything, man. I said that I would use it for the end of the year, see how this shit works out. I got a fucking salad on me. But I'm still worried. Daddy's still worried, you know? I don't want to lose any of my hair. So I'm using it, and I'm gonna give it a go until the end of the year, and then I'll give you the results back after that, for real. Right now, it's free. You go to keeps.com/Drinkin Bros. Totally free for 30 days. If you like it, after that, it's $10 a month, and you get it's just shampoo that goes on what is remaining of your hair.
Well, there's different things that they have. So they do have pills, and then they have 2 different solutions that you can get in foam or solution. And you basically just chat with a professional, send them pictures.
Online, yeah, you don't have to do shit.
And they're going to let you know the exact program that you should use for whatever your specific issue is, where it's like receding hairline, balding spot, like just want to keep whatever you have. This will not hurt, and literally every guy that's over, what do you say, 28?
Yeah, 28. It's probably a good age.
Give it a look.
Look, some people are going bald.
Don't make the
earlier.
same mistake I made.
Some people
basically.
are going bald earlier with the Botox, man.
All of it. You know, I just should have done everything different.
Next up, speaking of the left trying to fuck over Trump, have you searched GIFs on
Yeah,
Instagram?
I did actually. A user, what the fuck? A fan, a Drinkin Bros sent this to me. Giorgio, you want to pull that clip up?
Yeah, if
So
you
while
can pull that
he's
clip, it would be great.
while he's getting that ready, basically when you go, if you're in Instagram stories, you know you can tap on it or swipe up on
Yeah.
the story and then hit GIF and then look for whatever the fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and play that, Giorgio. And yeah. So what we're seeing here is that if you type in Biden 2020,
Right.
a lot of Biden 2020 shit shows up, which is what should happen, right? Ready for change.
Sure.
Images of Biden and all that shit. Vote for a Joe, right? Now let's look and see what happens when you type in Trump 2020.
What happens?
There we go. So a mask, some stars, Black Lives Matters, a rose of some sort or some kind of flower, and orange.
Holy shit.
It's like seven. It's like 7 things.
And none of them have anything
None of them have anything to do with
like,
Trump. Look, this isn't one of those things like a Google bomb. I don't know if you're familiar with that, but Google bombing was a thing that was really popular back in the mid 2000s, where you can use data farms essentially, or farms of computers basically, to go in and you type in a search term and you train the computer to go in and only click on the links that you want to come up for that search term, and over time it will trick the algorithm into thinking that that's the case, right? So Trump, like if you typed in liar and it showed a picture of Trump, that's a Google bomb, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
This is not how this works, because this is not an algorithm-based. Instagram's gift thing is not an algorithm-based thing, and even if it was, there would be more results than just those 7 or 8 that you saw on there. Instagram did on purpose.
Yes.
They are
clearly. I did. By the way, so a few people had written in about this. I did not believe this was true.
It is. I mean, you could see it
Well,
right
we
there.
just watched it on screen,
Yeah.
obviously,
So
but
they are actively tampering with a fucking federal election right now.
oh my god, dude, it's just hard to believe that. Again, man, I know I've said this for like the last 2 weeks. I'll say it one more time. It's hard to believe that shit is this far slanted towards one direction when you're just like, man, this can't be real, and it is. We just pulled it up on screen, obviously, but what the fuck, man? Like, why aren't more people angry about it? I guess we'll know how angry they are on November 3rd, right?
Yeah.
If people actually go out and look, if you're watching this show or listening, and you know, obviously we've got over 9 million listeners on this goddamn thing, like, go out and vote. Get pissed off about shit like this. Go out and vote on November 3rd. Me personally, I just want to win this one. And then after that, I don't really give a fuck. Like,
Well, I'll
just
bring.
out of spite.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
this is starting to feel like my favorite, like a sports team at this
Almost
point.
like somebody-
you're rooting for an underdog.
Yeah, like somebody called you deplorable.
Yeah.
Almost, right?
Dead serious.
It's the same goddamn stupid shit. They nominate 2 people that represent everything that's wrong with America, at least from their point of view,
Yeah.
and then fucking do the same bullshit. It's so ironic to me, and I'll bring it up again, that they talk about all this fucking bullshit with Trump trying to collude with people and fucking influence the election in some kind of way and all that bullshit. And here they are once again getting caught doing exactly that. And there's no evidence that Trump's done it. Right? He's an idiot. He's a jack-off half the time, dude. He just says stupid fucking bullshit all the time.
There's so many Instagram users, though, in the world.
But he's not doing this.
Right here, being able to pull up GIFs and shit like
Yeah.
that to put on your stories that get, you know, hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, look, whenever I pop up a story on mine, I don't have too many followers on my Instagram. It gets about 15,000 views, right? But imagine if you were like Kylie Jenner or fucking somebody huge like that. Like, dude, that is millions and millions of views on shit like that. The fact that the other candidate doesn't even have a sticker or an option.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And it's all, if you remember, in the even the summer, but mostly in the fall of 2016, all Trump talked about was the fake news.
Yeah.
Like how the mainstream media is full of shit, how tech companies are full of shit. And every single day, it seems, something new comes out that fucking exonerates him and proves that the left is involved in some fucked up bullshit. Like almost every day now, something new comes out that shows that they're conspiring against the fucking sitting president of the United States. If you're one of those people out there and you think that fucking bringing down America so you can get your guy in is somehow patriotic or just, you're a fucking cunt.
Who told you this, by the way? Did you read that? Was it an article or did you find it on your own?
No, somebody sent it to me. Hang on.
Yeah, a bunch of listeners sent it in, but dude, to be honest with you, it seems so ridiculous that I didn't check it. I was just like, there's no way. There's no way that can be true.
Let's see.
That's funny, man. God damn it. Instagram. All this shit should be public utilities, by the way. All of it. And everybody should have fair use. What I don't understand is you take something like the conventions, right? Each candidate is allowed an equal amount of screen time on primetime networks and all that shit. Why isn't it the same for like Instagram and all this other shit? Doesn't make any sense to me.
Nope.
This last one here is a gigantic fuck you to China. And D'Anthony, since this is near and dear to your heart, and this is your get fucked of the week, I will let you tell the fine folks who are listening about this last story here.
So, if you've paid attention to international politics over the last couple of months, you'll know that there's some unrest with China and Hong Kong. It's been going on for some time now. Yeah.
Tad.
China passed these new sweeping national security laws that prevent people from saying anything that sounds like dissent, essentially, against the government. Well, now it's coming to America in the form of students from China and Hong Kong that are here, particularly at fucking prestigious universities in the United States, are now being told by staff well, there's a couple of things going on. One, they're giving people code names for their work that they turn in instead of their actual name, so the Chinese government can't find it and then try to, punish them later and shit like that. They're also telling people that they don't have to take part in the political discussion part of it, and warning people that China might come after you if you say stuff, right? Here in the United States, the bigger problem there is that with COVID going on, a lot of these people are still they're living in China and Hong Kong and doing distance learning. They're doing shit over the internet, and China doesn't have the kind of internet we do, right? They control every single bit of it. Mm-hmm. They spy on everybody all the time, and now these people are fucked.
So what's the end result going to be out of all this, you think?
I mean, China's China. It's going to continue to be China. I think the bigger problem is these facts. Nearly 370,000 Chinese students and about 7,000 from Hong Kong attend American universities each year.
Look,
370,000 Chinese students are coming to America to get educations.
Yeah, they're all at UCLA, Harvard, and Yale.
It's unbelievable. Like, make no mistake, China is our enemy.
Yeah.
They are our political and economic enemy. And they've demonstrated as such. We get hacked. Like, banks, military institutions, government institutions get hacked somewhere between 3,000 to 5,000 times per year by China. That is public information.
Right.
In what other way would we train our enemies? Right?
Yeah, it seems weird that there wouldn't be some fucking bill passed that it's like, hey man, we're gonna stop letting kids from China come over and learn at the best American schools and essentially infiltrate the system.
Well, Hong Kong is at odds with China as well, though,
sure.
in the same sort of way. So that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
From China,
no. But it's 7,000 from Hong Kong and 370,000.
Oh shit.
I'd like to, I'd like to nuke out China altogether. I'd like just to close them off from everything. Travel here, students learning here, because nobody's knocking how smart the Chinese are. Let's face it, those are the smartest motherfuckers on the face of the planet. But coming to Harvard and Yale and eating up all the scholarships and everything else. I mean, we saw what happened last year with Harvard, where
another Chinese immigrant got arrested recently that worked in the intelligence community.
Yeah.
Like here in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like it happens all the time. I honestly, this is the equivalent of training enemy soldiers, because this fight between us and China, it's not on a battlefield, right? It's economics and it's politics and it's foreign policy and it's just geopolitics in general. We're training our enemy. And under what other circumstances would we ever do anything like that? And if you're wondering if China's our enemy or not, look at how they handle dissent. We handle it by like asking people what's wrong. They handle it by putting people in jail and killing them. There's a big separation there. JFK said, "Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, in order to assure the survival and the success of liberty." Now, there's a lot of us who have organized our entire lives around that principle. And now you're telling me that you're out there fucking spending money training our goddamn enemies. That's the America that we live in right now? Are you out of your fucking mind?
It's crazy. The only thing I would like to implement from the Chinese government is the way they do handle protests, you put those motherfuckers in charge of what's going on in Portland, streets will be clear real quick because they're locking them up. Now's the point in the show where we get to the Drinkin Bro of the week. This one was submitted by Robert Matthews from Texas. He says he's been a member of Drinkin Bros for 4 years, and he's nominating Officer Sheena Yarborough. She was killed in the line of duty on August 9th, 2020. It's a sad day for the Beaumont Police Department and the community that our officers proudly serve. At 2:30 in the morning, 2 Beaumont police officers were traveling northbound on Cardinal Avenue near the Highway 347 overpass when they were struck head-on by a wrong-way driver. One officer was transported to the hospital with severe injuries, but is stable. He underwent surgery early this morning and has since been released. He has a long road to recovery ahead of him, but we will be with him every step of the way. Unfortunately, his partner did not survive her injuries. Officer Sheena Yarborough Powell was a 23-year-old Lumberton native. She was hired by the Beaumont Police Department as a police cadet on August 13th, 2018. On December 20th, 2018, she was sworn in as a Beaumont police officer. She was assigned the 4th Watch Patrol, and she had been married for just 10 months. You know, I remember seeing this story, actually, and I remember some friends of ours sharing her photo on social media because, look, again, we've said this week in and week out for what feels like ever at this point. A lot of these men and women are doing a job that is thankless, and they're not getting any press for this type of shit. Look, we're more than happy to read them on air, so you can submit them to drinkinbros.com for Drinkin Bro of the Week, and hopefully we can shed some light on these people and their amazing lives. But unfortunately, this happens all too often, and the media would rather spotlight other shit that's completely fucking ridiculous rather than people like this. So cheers. I appreciate the submission, and we're sorry for the loss of Sheena. D'Anthony, big night tonight with Joe Biden.
I mean, it's
over under is 12 minutes. That's what I'm going to set that at tonight. 12-minute speech from Joe.
good luck. Good luck.
If I was at mybookie.com, if I was setting the odds, I would say 15 minutes tops.
Joe Biden trying to give a fucking live speech right now is trying to ride a unicycle across a slack line, my man.
Were you saying Joe or Jill?
Get her out of here.
Yeah. I'm Joe
Dan,
Biden's
I
husband.
would just like to thank you for filling in as the quote-unquote smart one. I have it from here. You can go back to being comic relief.
Appreciate that.
Would like to see some unicycles added to wheelchair porn.
Yeah,
So
we'll
see.
get there. We'll get there.
Thoughts
and
like a
prayers.
one-legged person on a unicycle. That'd be
tough.
a disability, though, right? That might qualify it for it, right?
I don't know.
We'll see. We'll see. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin Bros Fake News. Good night, everyone.